तस्मै तं हदेवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशम् मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या सम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। सर्वोपप्लवरहितः प्रज्ञानघनः प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि ब्रह्मैवाहमस्मि। ॐ वेदान्तार्थविभासकाय गुरवे शान्ताय सन्न्यासिने नानावादी नगेन्द्रसङ्घपवये योगीन्द्रवन्द्याय च मोहध्वान्तदिवाकराय भगवत्पादाभिधां बिभ्रते तस्मै भाष्यकृते नमोऽस्तु सततं पूर्णाय बोधात्मने। It was said, even an enlightened one who is not desirous of lifting people from their despicable condition, in the sense, a condition in which there is a constant suffering, and because he sees the suffering, he would want them to come out of it. Something which is right there in front of you cannot be ignored. And therefore, a heart of a compassionate person could definitely melt. A Brahmajnani, the knower of the Brahman, though cognizes the entire world as an appearance, yet, which means that he sees the entire world, everything, including his own body, mind, complex also as a part of this world, is only an appearance, meaning something like a dream. And if there has to be a dream, why should it be a nightmare? It can be a pleasant dream. And therefore he would want people also to be peaceful, joyous. He would want them to arrive at this point where now they become the right receptacles of knowledge. And thus, with knowledge that destroys the ignorance which is the cause of suffering, everything ends. The suffering would come to an end. Suffering would come to an end with the end of the ignorance. Yet Bhagavan Shri Krishna tells that one thing is definitely admired, understood, appreciated, and that is, unless and until a person is a right receptacle for the knowledge, though the knowledge may be imparted, can be given to him, but the person is surely, definitely going not only to ignore it, and even if he pays some heed to it, that would only lead to confusion in such a person. And this is because now the person who is in ignorance basically considers himself to be the karta bhokta, meaning the experiencer and the doer. This is what we all in the state of ignorance, in the avidya dasha, consider ourselves to be. The doer, the experiencer, the jiva. the small individual, the limited existence. And because of this, now he definitely is wanting to have those things which he perceives as his sources of happiness. And to speak of it in general terms, it means putra, vitta, and loka. The Shastras have done a great service to the whole mankind by saying this is the only thing which is desired by all the human beings in different ways, in different forms, at different times with different intensities. But all that an ignorant person now sees is just this much. Putra, vitta, and loka means the progeny. And progeny also means the stri parigraha, etc. Taking a woman as a wife or a man as a husband, so on and so forth. Later on, this value may change, where he initially looks upon, or he or she looks upon the other person as a potential partner to continue the regeneration and continuity of the genes. Later on, that relationship may become a relationship of security, just not only pleasure, but security, also of appreciation. So over here, the human want is a little complex one, where now putra, vitta, and loka, these are the three things which are desired by a person, by any person who is still lurking, who is still wallowing in ignorance. He may not appreciate, he may not acknowledge the fact that there is ignorance at work. For him, he says that I know I am here, I know this world, I know what to desire from this world. And that's why now I want putra, vitta, and loka, the progeny, the wealth, the securities, and even, the comforts and the pleasant life here, or it can be hereafter in some celestial world. So putra, vitta, and loka, these are the three things desired by him. Now, for such a person to say that don't desire is not going to stop him from desiring. Desires just don't disappear because somebody has snapped the fingers. Desires go away only with fulfillment. Just as you have a desire for food, and the desire for food would go away only when you are satiated with food. Similarly, if a person has discovered satisfaction, fulfillment, those desires are bound to go away. But before that, there is something more. And that is, in order to become the right receptacle for the knowledge, he will have to follow the path of dharma to fulfill his desires. He cannot trample the dharma and then walk into spirituality and say, here I am and I'm enlightened. That's impossible. That's going to be impossible. Only when a person has appreciated that all these karma phalas, meaning putra, vitta, and loka, though they may give satisfaction, they may give certain amount of fulfillment, yet it is something that will leave them thirsty and asking for it more and more, like some substance which is consumed by people or addicts, and initially it gives them a great high, and later on it leaves them asking for more. Exactly in the same manner, all these karma phalas have the same modus operandi. And when he sees this, when he is able to see this very, very clearly, he rises above his desires. And then these desires wither away. Yet, without the knowledge, the seed of all these desires, which is avidya, the ignorance, still is there. And the seed, the very core of everything, from where every desire is born, every delusion is born, that ignorance can go away only with knowledge. But in order for this ignorance to be destroyed, for the ignorance to go away in the wake of knowledge, the fortress of desires, which is keeping this ignorance well protected, well armored, the ignorance need to be disarmed. This fortress of the desires need to be brought down. And that can happen only if a person has lived a virtuous, a righteous life. And therefore, to say that don't desire or just have this, follow the path of knowledge and not of karma, renounce everything, is not going to work. And therefore, even for an enlightened one, now Sri Krishna says, let him not disturb those people. All that he can do for them is to bring them to dharma, and the dharma, the righteousness, will bring them to the doorstep of knowledge. And so therefore, this ignorant person, in ignorance, the person is bound to be attached to karma. Attached to karma. Because karma is the means to fulfill every desire, whether you want progeny, whether you want wealth and security, whether you want progeny and pleasures, whether you want wealth and security, or you want well-being and a pleasant life. All this is achieved, attained through series of actions, the karma. And therefore the ignorant is going to be karma sangi. And in the earlier shloka, Shri Krishna has exactly used this word for the ignorant. Na buddhi bhedam janayed ajnanam karma sanginam. To describe an ignorant, he uses the word karma sangi. Karma sangi means, sangha means attachment. Attachment, dependence, company, all these are the meanings that are associated with the word sangha. And mind you, it is not sangha, the guttural sound of kha. It means an assembly, sangha, an assembly, a group, a community. But sangha means company or attachment. Karma sanginam, this dependence on karma. And that karma means the righteous action. And this is what is required in the world, righteous action. Therefore, a man of this world means a person who now looks upon karma as his means. And when you look upon karma as the means of your attainment of happiness and peace, you have two things over there. You can distinguish between the two karmas. One is the karma which is righteous, and the other one which is prohibited, unrighteous, wrong course of action. The very fact that when we are calling it wrong course of action, but people say, nay, nay, or no, by lying, by Wrong means we will be able to become rich and we will have a pleasurable life. We will have a pleasant life. Mind you, you are buying a wrong package. The Nishiddha karma has only one phalam, and that is dukkham, and that means narakadi prapti. Therefore, even when you are wanting to have something from this world, putra vitta or loka, let your course of action be in tandem with righteousness. With righteousness. Yet, ajnanam, the ignorant is called as karma sangi. And this is not what Shankaracharya Bhagavan says, it is said by Sri Krishna Bhagavan himself. Ajnanam karma sanginam. The question comes, sorry, how does the ignorant gets attached to the karma? Now, when we are talking about attachment to the karma, now that means there is something more than just feeling deeply dependent, extremely dependent on karma. That karma sangha, we have to look, we have to understand it in Bhagavan Shri Krishna's words itself. And Shri Krishna Bhagavan, therefore, in the following verse, which we had begun last time, Shri Krishna Bhagavan explains what exactly is karma sangha. Understand, the jnani is karma tyagi, karma sannyasi, and the ajnani is karma sangi. But till the point you have arrived where you have become the right receptacle for knowledge, do not give up karma. Giving up karma before one has really become the right receptacle is detrimental. That's why even over here, Shri Krishna Bhagavan again and again tells Arjuna, Arjuna, you are yet not prepared for renunciation. Karmani eva adhikara te. You are qualified only to perform the karma, to do the karma. But what would be the flip side of it? You are qualified to do the karma, means you are not yet qualified to give up the karma. Because Arjuna is again and again asking for the renunciation of karma. Why is Shri Krishna preventing Arjuna from doing the karma sannyasa, when karma sannyasa is the way of the jnani, or is the path of knowledge? Because even to arrive at this point of knowledge, karma is essential. To give up karma, karma should be done. This is the golden key over here. Remember this. So Ajya means the one who is ignorant. Ajya is a karma sangi. And how does he become attached to the karma? Avidwan ajnaha katham karmasu sajjate. Naturally, what should be your next question if you have heard Shri Krishna properly? That karma, it is the ignorant who becomes who is attached to the karma. Your question would be, how does he become attached to the karma? Answer is given by Sri Krishna in the following verse. Let's read that. We have begun the shloka and we will look at it through the words of Shankaracharya to understand the very heart of Sri Krishna. Prakrite kriyamānāni gunaih karmāni sarvashah ahankara vimūಢātmā kartāham iti manyate. Prakrite kriyamānāni gunaih karmāni sarvashah ahankara vimūఢātmā kartāham iti manyate. Prakritehe gunaihi kriyamānāni karmāni sarvashah ahankara vimūఢātmā kartāham iti manyate. This is the anvaya of the shloka. Prakriti over here has Shri Krishna chosen to use the word Prakriti, meaning does he admit the Prakriti of the Sankhyas? Because in the Sankhya system, in the Sankhya Darshana, Prakriti and Purusha, these are the two parallel realities. But if you look at Bhagavad Gita, there is nothing like a parallel reality which Shri Krishna says, and there is just one Satyam, Sadeva Somya, Idamagra Asit, Ekam Eva Dvitiyam, Ekam Eva. Whatever that Sat is, that existence is Ekam. There are no two things over here, no space. So though Shri Krishna is using the word Prakriti, this is not the Prakriti of the Sankhyas. Because the word Prakriti has been used by the Upanishads, which the Sankhya system has adopted and made popular. Mayantu Prakritim Vidhi Mayinantu Maheshwaram. So over there in the Upanishad, we find the word Prakriti as synonym to Maya. As a synonym to Maya. So now Krishna, Bhagavan Shankaracharya explains, Prakritehe gunai. The gunas belong to the Prakriti, to the Maya, Trigunatmika. And it is the various karmas, good and bad, holy or profane, virtuous, noble or ignoble, all the karmas, sarvashaha, all the karmas, meaning not all the karmas, good or bad, punya or papa, whether it is performed physically or verbally, or even if it is a movement of the thought, all this is the karmas are performed by the gunai, by the gunas of the Prakriti. So what is it that is making these actions possible? What is the cause of this action? The gunas. But over here, the twist is, if you have understood this much, it is the gunas of the Prakriti which is responsible for various actions. If there is anger and there is you're shouting and the blood pressure is rising, it is the Rajoguna and Tamoguna mixture of this. So what is it that is at work? Rajoguna and Tamoguna is at work. If you are able to understand something very clearly, without any confusion, it is the Sattva Guna. So what is at work? The Sattva Guna. What is it making this possible? It is Sattva Guna. So there is, whatever is the form of action, it is the work, it is because of the gunas. What is the cause? The gunas of the Prakriti. Prakriti is nothing else but these three gunas only. It is not to say of the gunas, Prakriti, gunas of Prakriti means belonging to Prakriti. Prakriti is Trigunatmika. It is saying like, Raho ho Shiraha. If you say wetness of water, water means or wet, the fluidity of liquid. Liquid means something that is fluid, that can flow. Now, when you are saying off, that conjugation of would mean like, this is the crown of the king, belonging to the king. Though this has got the implication, yet wherever there is no bheda also, we still can have language which allows us to perceive some sort of a bheda in that linguistic construct. Yet, now that prakritehe gunaha, whose gunas? Prakritis, the gunas of Prakriti. They are making this every moment, every movement possible. Whether it is the movement of the body, of the speech, or of the mind, all this movement is of the Prakriti. Because of Prakriti, it is Prakriti at work. And again, I'm telling you, reminding you at this point, the word Prakriti is not the Prakriti of the Sankhyas. Because the Upanishad very clearly says that Prakriti means Maya. Ahankara vimudhatma, the one who is deluded. And for the delusion, what do you require? Ignorance. Without ignorance, delusion cannot take place. Mohitam, meaning as if hypnotized. Ahankara vimudhatma karta aham iti manyate. Now, deluded with the ego, as the ego, he believes that he is the experiencer, the doer, the small little individual. Now look at this. This is very, very important. Manyate, what does he believe? Aham karta, aham bhokta, that I am the experiencer, I am the doer. This sense of doership and the sense of experiencership, which is now perceived as the reality of the self, is purely a belief. Is a belief. And this is never questioned. Based on this, then is the entire transaction of an ignorant. Hands and legs of an ignorant will also cause a movement and action. Hands and legs of the jnani will also cause some action. Actions will be performed through the same karanas. Yet, in the jnani, the kartrutvam and bhoktrutvam, the experiencership and doership, the ego, is seen only as an appearance. But in ignorance, for the ignorant, this is the reality. This is his reality. And therefore he is going to cry and howl, my dukkham is real, my dukkham is real. Ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. Now let's go to Shankaracharya Bhagavan and see how does he explain this. I mean, he explains it to, to bring forth that what is the very heart, the intention of Shri Krishna to us. Prakriti, what is this Prakriti? Pradhanam. How is this Prakriti? Sattva rajas tamasam gunanam samyavastha. What is called as Prakriti? Prakriti means the state of equilibrium, undisturbed, the state of undisturbed gunas is called as Prakriti, where all the three gunas are at peace, at equilibrium. Prakritehe gunaihi, from the gunas of the Prakriti. Now, he goes to say, these gunas are actually the vikaras. Vikaras means modifications. Okay? Modification implies a change, a transformation. Vikari, that means something was there earlier and now it transforms into the next one, something else. The bud transforms into a flower. The flower transforms into a fruit. The fruit transforms into the decaying pulp, releasing the seed, eventually dries up. The seed, when now totally dry, now when comes in contact with the moisture and in the soil, sprouts and transforms into, it germinates into the germ, and then from there becomes a plant, a shoot, a plant, and then furthermore, this is all change, vikar. Vikarehi karya karana rupaihi. Now, what is the modification of the Prakriti? The modification of the Prakriti is in the form of body, mind, sense complex. Okay? The modification is in the form of body, mind, and the senses. Karya karana rupaihi. These are the various modifications. Kriyamanani karmani, and all the karmas which are done. Sarvashaha meaning laukikani shastriyani cha. Whether that karma is laukika, you waking up in the morning, dusting your blanket, folding your blanket, and then removing the wrinkles of your bed sheet and straightening it up. There's some karma as simple as that. Now, is it going to generate papa or punya? Folding your blanket and keeping it, is it going to generate papa or punya? It will. If you have this habit, it is a discipline. It will keep your room tidy. It will, every time you enter the room, it will make you feel tidy, good, pleasant to the eyes. But beyond it, does it have any implication of having any papa or punya? Because I folded my bed sheet and cleaned my bed after I got up. No, this will create punya for me. Or I did not. That will become some pap. No, this is a laukika karma. But there are shastriya karmas, those karmas which are prescribed by the scriptures. Certain karmas which are prohibited by the shastra, meaning some karmas, some actions are called as the source of punya, as the source of punya, and as the source of papa. Those which become the source of papa are called as the nishiddha karma, and those which become the source of punya are called as the karmas, prescribed karmas. Okay, so therefore, laukikani shastriyani cha karmani, all the karmas totally, absolutely are performed only by the body-mind complex. All the karmas are performed by the body-mind complex. Really speaking, you are not the doer. Not the doer, not even the experiencer. You are just the light which illumines the presence and absence and modifications of this body-mind complex. That is what I am. That is what the self is. Earlier also I have told you this. Now I'm going to tell you the same thing again, only because, when something is repeated, it does carry the value of, importance. When you are to tell something important, you just reiterate it. So over here, the other day also I was talking to someone, and I just said, what is it that one does? Your eyes are able to perceive something, the eyes carry the message to the brain deciphers it and gives an order, sends another message to the legs to carry you away from there or go close to it, whatever it may be. What did you do? The whole thing is just physically in the realm of Prakriti. What was done by you? Laukika, what was done by you? You have done nothing. You did nothing. There was no role played by you in this, except for that in your presence, the whole game is illumined. And so, ahankara vimudhatma, but though the self is untouched, uninvolved, uncontaminated by the gunas of the Prakriti, which means the karma is not something that is performed by the self. Karma is performed by the body-mind complex. Yet, ahankara vimudhatma, the one who is deluded by the ego, delusion of the ego, the delusion of the ego will exist till the end, till the body-mind complex does not disintegrate. It will remain. It is bound to be there, but the reality associated with it will disappear. So, and for the one who is now ignorant means the one for whom the meaning of the self is karta bhukta, means ahankara vimudhatma. What does he see now? Deluded by the ego. Deluded by the ego means the one who considers the ego as his real identity. as his own existence. Ahankara vimudhatma karta aham iti manyate. For him, what is the meaning of aham? Karta. Karta meaning kartritva abhimani. The word abhimana over here is not some pride or vanity or arrogance or anything. The word ahankara also has got some, or abhimana has got a different technical meaning. Ahankara simply means, why simply? We will go through the Shankaracharya's definition, how he explains. Karya karana sanghate atma pratyayo ahankaraha. Last time, did I tell you that, please underline this. Next time when this word ahankara comes, it is a technical definition.
Yes, Swamiji.
Yeah, karya karana sanghate atma pratyayo ahankaraha. What is the meaning of ahankara? Basically, atma pratyaya, the sense of I am. Atma pratyaya means I am. What is the meaning of this I now? Karya karana sangha. Oh, sangha, as I had explained you before, the word sangha. Now this is sangha, not sangha. Okay? Karya karana sanghat, and assembly. Assembly. An arrangement. Gautam Buddha is to explain it this way. He would say that, that a chariot is nothing but all these parts put together. All the parts, not even a nut, not even a bolt is lost. Everything is kept dismantled on the floor. Will you now call it a chariot? What is a chariot? The chariot is nothing but this assembly of all the parts together, the wheels, the rods, the flagstaff, so on and so forth. All these things put together is sanghat. What sanghata do you have? What complex is this? Karya karana. Karyam over here means the physical body, the sthula deha. Karyam. And karana means the tools, instruments. A tool or an instrument is something through which a certain goal is accomplished. The means of accomplishing something is called as the karana. If you want to loosen a screw or fix a screw, you have an instrument, the screwdriver. If you want to dig a hole into the wall, you have the drill machine. It is a tool with which those particular things are accomplished. And so, this is the karana. Now, through which, I will not even say need, through what is the experience of colors and forms accomplished? Chakshurendriya, the visual faculty. Through what is the job or the knowledge of shabda, of the sound accomplished? Obviously, the auditory faculty. These are the instruments without which experience of colors and forms, experience of sounds cannot be accomplished. Through what will you accomplish the job of spoken words. And that is through the vak, the speech. Speech is also an instrument. So now you see the karmendriyas, the jnanendriyas, the mind, all these are the instruments. So the body, mind, sense complex together is called as the karya karana sanghat. Now, what is karya karana sanghate ahankara vimudhatma? So the atma pratyayaha, where is this atma pratyaya? The sense of I am is now, the I is identified as this body-mind complex. And this, this, where the identification of body-mind complex as the I, as the self happens, this phenomena is called as ahankar. This phenomena is called as ahankar. Then what happens? Then let that ahankara be there. Tena vividham nana vidham mudhaha. Ahankara vimudhatma. Ahankara will be there. Even after the enlightenment, ahankara will be there. But ahankara vimudhatmatvam will not be there. So if you are going to ask an enlightened person, have you eaten food? He is going to say, I have eaten food. What is the meaning of his I over there? Does he mean Brahman has eaten food? The pure infinite consciousness has eaten food now. This is what it means. He simply is answering your query that I over here at the transactional level means this karya karana sanghat. But he is not mudha, mohita, deluded by that. For him, that ahankar is just a phenomenon. You know, you're looking at the sky, and then you see the rainbow. And you ask two people, do you see the rainbow? One who does not know what is that rainbow made of, he also sees rainbow. And the second one who understands rainbow is nothing. There is nothing like a rainbow. It is just the rays of light filtering through the suspended particles of water in the atmosphere. Both of them, now what would, so the second person knows that there is nothing like rainbow, there is just light and water. He also answers by saying, yes, I see the rainbow. There is a rainbow. A particular angle through which that light is seen by us now makes that light appear split. And therefore it appears as a rainbow. Therefore it appears as, 7 colors split over in the sky. The second person knows that it is just a phenomena, it is just an appearance. And yet he admits, I am able to see. The first person does not know, the second knows. But knowing that it is only a phenomena does not mean that he is now going to stop seeing the rainbow. It is going to be seen. Yet his knowledge allows him to understand that it is nothing but only an appearance. Exactly like that, in case of the jnani also, though the ahankara will be there till the body-mind complex perishes, he is not moodha. He is not mohita. Mohita means he is not deluded. Tena vividham nana vidham mudhaha. So Shri Krishna, every word over here has got a meaning. Ahankara. It is not, those words are not cast over there only for the meter to be composed of these shlokas. Ahankara vimudhatma. Okay. So what is ahankara? Karya karana sanghate atma pratyaya. Ahankara is there. But he just does not say that there is ahankara. Ahankara should not be there. What? That is pure nonsense. If there is going to be light passing through the suspended particles of the water, there is the light is going to split like the prism splits the light. It is going to, that phenomena is going to take place. As long as body-mind complex is there, ahankara is going to be there. Ahankar pura tyag dena chahiye. The ego should be totally relinquished. What are you talking? Does that person ever even understand what does it mean by that? Totally relinquished means what? Should not be there. What should not be there? It is going to be there. The only thing that is going to happen is, now there is no moha, there is no delusion that it is the meaning of I. For him, this is not the meaning of I. The reality of I is that the self is that principle, that pure consciousness, just pure existence, that does not have any confinements of name and form, attributes, history or future. No, nothing. Is not subject to time, space, object, any attributes. And therefore, tena nana vividham means nana vidham mudhaha. Antakaranam yasya soyam. So such a person now who is deluded, what does he think? And how is his existence? Karya karana dharma. Karya karana abhimani. He carries this idea. I am a man, I am a woman, I am beautiful, I am ugly, I am good, I am bad, I am pious, I am profane, I'm educated, I'm uneducated, I'm wise, I'm foolish. All these ideas. And these are the various complexes with which we live. These are the complexes. Every complex is just centered on I. And therefore, he who has truly known what is the meaning of I becomes free from every complex. I am a scholar, I am foolish, I am not doing well, I am a spiritualist, I am not a spiritualist, I am a theist, I am an atheist, I am agnostic. All these are complexes. All these are complexes. As much as is the complex, I am a religious and a theist, believer of God, there is yet another complex. And every complex, mind you, is centered on I. But he who has known now what is the meaning of this I, which means that which is free from name and form and not this body-mind complex, not even this idea, I am karta, I am bhokta, aham karta, aham bhokta, is not there. And therefore, he is free. But the ignorant is the one who considers himself as a combination of all these complexes. From childhood, in my childhood, I was not looked after and neglected child, unwanted child. And since then, I have always felt I was unwanted and I tried to please my parents and I have tried to do this. And that's why now I have always the sense of being rejected by the world. And I live as a failure and constantly I feel this rejection. And no matter what I do, what my achievements are, I always feel I'm a loser. Complex. What is that complex? just this karya karana sanghata abhimani. What is that complex? It is this karya karana sanghata abhiman. That's all. Every complex again and again simply means this, that what is projected by ignorance is seen as real. But this is true as long as this is going to be true, as long as the knowledge that this is a rope does not dawn, the snake is going to be a reality. As long as one doesn't wake up from the dream, the tiger chasing you in the dream is real. Karya karana sanghata, karya karana abhimani, avidyaya karmani atmani manyamanaha. And then what does he say? What is its translation, that karya karana abhimani? Translation in the sense, its explanation further, and refinement of our understanding. Avidyaya, through ignorance, karmani, the various karmas he sees in the self, means as the doer of them. How? Tat karmanam aham karta iti manyate. Tat karmanam aham karta iti manyate. Karmanam shashtina. Tat karmanam aham karta iti manyate. Now, what is the difference between, though we have seen it today, the difference between the Tattvavetta, the Tattvajnani, and the Ajna, Karma Sangi? What is the difference? For one, the Kartrutvam, Bhoktrutvam is the identity and is the reality of the self. This is what the self is. And for the Tattvajnani, that is only an appearance on the self, but the self is free from all this. Then how does he see this body-mind complex, the actions, the interactions with the world? What is all this? To the Tattvajnani, this is all but Prakriti at play. This is what? Prakriti at play. That we will see in the next shloka. Let us read that shloka as of now, and then we will discuss the shloka in our next class. Tattva-vittu mahabaho guna-karma vibhagayoho guna guneshu vartanta iti matva na sajjate. Tattva-vittu mahabaho guna-karma vibhagayoho guna guneshu vartante iti matva na sajjate. And therefore he does no sajjate, means the sangha does not happen in him. This association of the idea that this is what is real does not take place in him. We will see that when we meet next. Om Purnamataha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashyakrito Vande Bhagavanto Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmiti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Thank you, friends. Thank you all.